I have the keys to a 1996 Porsche 911 Carrera, a 993 generation 911. I have a mile to drive it and give you my impressions. So this car, its owner has had it for about 15 years. It's a car he's loved and driven for many years and done a few choice modifications over the years. But let's start with the basics. The 993 was the last generation of air-cooled Porsche 911, or air-cooled Porsches in general, and therefore it was the most refined of all the air-cooled 911s. It came stock with 282 horsepower, with a 3.6 liter flat six, and a 6-speed manual transmission. How you tell a 993 from an earlier air-cooled 911 is mainly front end and the light. As I stated earlier, this owner has done a few choice modifications to make the car drive better. First off, the engine has had a top end rebuild, so it's nice and fresh. And to let it breathe a bit better, it has a Fabspeed cross pipe connected to a Pfister Stage 2 muffler for the exhaust. So it should sound pretty dang good, and I confirmed that as the owner drove up earlier this morning. It has a Numeric short shift kit, and a factory RS shift rod, so the shifter should be nice and tight. And as you can see, we have some sort of car club coming up through here, and a lot of Porsches are passing right by, and a few of them are taking a look at the 993 as well as they pass. So what else is done with this car? On the interior, you have an aftermarket steering wheel, and you also have period correct Recaro hardback sport seats, which look very nice to sit in and still have articulation for getting into the back seat. So they're not pure sport buckets, but they grip you like sport buckets do. The brakes have been updated as well with a nice 993 turbo brake upgrade. So the car will stop better, and it has those big reds, as we like to call them. So the car also handles better with Euro 911 turbo sway bars. And I forgot to mention that the engine also has a lightweight flywheel. So it should be nice and rev happy and make heel toe downshifts a breeze. And with that, it's time to drive the car for a mile and give you my impressions.
Be sure to log into your YouTube account, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. Best of all, it's free to do so.
All right, so here we are in a 1996 911 Carrera, 993 generation, and this is the first coupe 993 we've driven for our 1 mile review series. And I sit in these period correct Recaro A8 buckets, and these are some really nice seats. They have the curvature of a sport bucket, but they still maintain the articulation for getting stuff in the back. So that's a really cool seat that maintains the usability of this car. And with that, here we go. So I can tell here the Numeric shifter is definitely a very solid direct shift. And there we go. Yep, just what I was expecting there. So the pedals are a little bit different. They're an aftermarket pedal set, and they feel very nice, and they're definitely set up for heel toe. So the G50 in this car is a 6-speed with first up and to the left, and then reverse is even further to the left past the detent. So make sure you don't press that, and here we go. Very nice progressive clutch pedal, and as if you've watched any of my 1 mile reviews, that's very important for me. Oh wow, yeah, this is a very willing engine. So this is the second 993 I've driven recently, and it's just a very nice, fluid drive. On the Bilstein PSS-9s, it's definitely a little stiff, but like the last 993 I drove, which I believe also had PSS-9s, it feels very good and stock-like, even though it keeps body roll under control. Brakes are nice. This is the right amount of power here, probably a little over stock, a little over 282. And it sounds great with the Pfister muffler and Fabspeed crossover pipe. Steering is awesome. I love the hydraulic power steering of the 993 era. Again, it's just so refined where you're not getting any of the bumps you don't want, but you can feel everything that's going on the road. So these Recaro seats are really nice as well, and they feel very period in their bolstering and kind of how The bolstering is soft, but they keep you in place like a bucket would. Yeah, so just under 300 horsepower, right around there for a car that's close to 3,000 pounds is just the right weight. Every time I drive a car that has around 300 horsepower and weighs about 3,000 pounds, I'm always impressed with how hard you can drive it, but not feel like you're gonna get into huge trouble, because you're not going too fast. Oh yeah, and the brakes are nice and progressive. I'm staying in second gear on this road because it seems like second gear, even on this tight twisty, is the perfect gear to be in. I love when gearing works out for your favorite back roads here, and this is one of my favorite I've driven in the Los Angeles area on Angeles Crest here. Oh yeah, that's a great engine. I really love how the refinement of the air-cooled 993, you know, just signifies this was Porsche's best effort at the air-cooled 911, knowing that it would come to the end of the line. Yeah, very nice, fluid, predictable car to drive. Really enjoying myself here. And these pedals are great. They are really nice pedals for doing heel toe and all that good stuff. So, what are my thoughts on this car? Well, the shifter, actually, this Numeric shifter is really nice, and the turbo or the RS shift rod just makes everything feel very nice and solid and direct. Great car to drive. But now onto our ratings. So you see I'm sweating a bit here. I didn't want to open the windows so you could hear me talk a little better and maybe hear on the inside of the car. But car show. So this is a 993 Carrera. You don't see them all that often compared to when you used to. They're a very sought after car. That being said, it is the most common version of the 993. So you park something like this at a car show, and you'll have people, I think, walk around and say hi and ask a little bit more about it, but it's not a signal orange 911 ST replica or the 356 Speedster that we drove yesterday. So it'll come a little bit lower. I'm gonna give this a 7.5 for car show. It's a very nice air-cooled 911, and people love seeing them. For daily driving, I think this could be a very nice daily driver because you have a hard top over your head, it's easy to drive, and you have enough storage space in the back, and you have the articulating seats to put things in the back seat. And of course the frunk can carry a good amount of stuff, as you'll see with our B-roll shots here. That being said, I don't think you'd really want to drive a 911 every day anymore, knowing that their values have gone up a little bit, so you might have that in the back of your head. But overall, this is a close to stock Carrera, and it drives very close to stock, just better, I think, with the lowered suspension, higher quality Bilstein PSS-9s, and just a very nice, sweet, fluid drive. So I'm gonna give this a 6.5 for daily driving. For road trip, this is gonna be a great road trip car. It's not too flashy, but it looks great. It rides well. I don't see you having any problems driving this anywhere in the country, or for example, to Palm Springs in Porsche Parade this year, which for the owner is not too far of a hike. Yeah, this would be a great road trip car for the same reasons it would be a good daily driver. But I'll score it a little bit better. I think that this would be a 7 for road trips. Now, for fun factor, it's a very easy car to get in and drive. The clutch pedal is progressive and predictable. The steering is really predictable, and it has just the right amount of weighting. I really do love this power steering system from the 993. And the steering wheel is a good addition as well. I like how thick the rim is. It's not too thick, not too thin, and it's the right size. A little bit smaller diameter, I think, than stock. And as I said, the suspension, the handling seems like very predictable. You're not going to get snap oversteer in this car like you would a short wheelbase 911, which for somebody like me, I like having a little bit more predictability when I'm driving it to have fun on the street. And so yeah, this is a very fun car. I'm going to give this an 8 for fun factor. So really nice car, great example of the 993, one that's been owned by the same person for 15 years and has been driven and enjoyed for a long time. It's definitely a driver's car. And with that, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please smash the like button. If you like content like this, or our weekly podcast, or our bi-weekly Tech Tactics Live, or any of our other feature videos, please subscribe to our channel. We're trying to get to 100,000 subscribers as soon as we can, and we'd love for you to be a part of that. Other than that, I hope to see you next time.